Start recording. All right, welcome to the Review Me Marketing Monthly Training Coaching and Q&A call. We're on call number 6 today. And real quick, I wanted to hit on a little bit of strategy, just in terms of marketing in general. And then we can answer anybody's questions about this or anything else. So the one thing I wanted to talk about is how do you actually narrow your market and narrow your target customer. So a lot of times, especially newer businesses, I see this in, they don't have a really good defined target customer or market that they really want to go after. And it really makes it difficult to get all their marketing put together, to have their content organized, and really to have, what is the problem I solve? So all that gets into the basics of marketing. Who's my market? What's the problem they have, and how do I solve it? And then what is all the information just around that space that does that? We often go way too broad in our marketing. For example, real estate agents. Real estate agent, they want to sell a house or help somebody buy a house. Well, lots and lots of people buy and sell houses, right? So they just go after anybody with a pulse. That's just natural starting out because it's a hard market and you got to try to find a deal. So you're like, I need anybody who even thinks they want to buy a house. That's who I want to talk to. But you can actually narrow that market even and be much more strategic and be able to build referral partners and relationships and connect all your marketing to that. So one example of that is a local gentleman, and I don't actually know his name. I wish I did. But what he promotes himself as a real estate agent is he sells garages with attached houses. So what he's done is taken his hobby, which is the love of cars, and connected that to be a piece of his marketing strategy and narrow his market. So he goes to car shows. If you go to his website, it has information. You'll see a picture that is a garage with lots of nice cars, Maserati or Ferrari, sitting in the garage. And then you can explore the rest of the website to see the rest of the house, that kind of thing. So his business card, it's him sitting in a car, nice car. So that's a way to narrow your market. So I want to give you 7 quick ways to become the best in your world, in your marketplace, and a few ways to do that. One I gave you was a hobby. So you can connect your hobby to it. One's location. So you could make it specific to a city, county, a state, whatever it is. A demographic. So this could be an age, this could be an income, it could be several different things that you pick out of a demographic for your market. Having a much more narrow product, like what is you could offer a lot of different services depending on your business, but can you just narrow it down? So, maybe you are a financial planner that can do all this financial planning, but you want to focus on just one area. Maybe you want to focus on life insurance, even though you can do everything else. That becomes your focus, and you can always add those other things on. Another way to do that is personality. Personality is the Dylan Dougs, right? The Jake Jabs, that kind of stuff. So if you want to make that's a way to become best in your world. Size of client, size of project. Have a handyman friend right now that's wants to really keep things focused in the handyman space and not have big projects come up that take up a lot of time. So it's 2 hours to 2 days. That's his max. So that's the size of project that he'll do. Won't do something bigger than that. And then the another way is expertise. So expertise could be, you go and you speak on that topic. So you do training on it. You write blog posts, maybe even write a book about that particular thing. And so you become known as the expert in that particular niche, in that particular space. So those are 7 common ways to do it. Another way that you can differentiate yourself in narrowing your target customer is to offer a guarantee. So if what you do is just almost the same as what everybody else does, but if you're able to offer some type of guarantee where your competition doesn't do that, that can help you as well. But the idea is with these different things is to create a much narrower market, a smaller market where you can be the number one in that market. And that's what you're trying to do. So you're just cutting out niches within niches and making smaller niches until you can be in that number one spot. Of course, other things matter, right? Is the market big enough to, do they have a big enough problem that they're willing to pay money to solve this problem? And is that market big enough to sustain a business and to grow a business? That's important too. The equation of this when you're talking about narrowing your market, because if your market's so narrow and there's only 10 people in the world that would want what I have, that might be too narrow. So somewhere in the middle there is the balance. So that's our strategy review for this month. Hopefully that was helpful. And we look forward to being on the call next month.